Hello and welcome to the Merle and Locke podcast. I'm Merle.
And I'm Luck.
Set sail and low expectations for everything nerd, accompanied by healthy, albeit shameful, helping to pointless banter, lack of focus, and questionably acquired knowledge. All right, to start us off here, Locke, I actually got a recommendation for a topic from a mutual friend of ours, Old Demented.
Oh, demented.
Oh, Demented. He brought up the point of, the fact that we've talked about the gaming community on many occasions, and it was usually I feel like we did talk a lot about the negativity of the gaming community, or the
The toxic
toxicity.
community? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he brought up the point that I don't. I feel like maybe we've touched on it before, but he wanted us to, discuss the positives, like things that we've seen, the positive things we've seen, or the friendships that we've made within the community, especially to us three in particular. Ourselves and with Old Demented. He wanted us to discuss like how close we've become because of our mutual love for video games and different genres that we've bonded together with. And I was wondering if it was something that you'd like to expand on. I know that you and Demented have been friends for quite a long time.
Quite a long time.
But yeah, but so it's not necessarily something that's, that you've experienced with him, but it's something I experienced with him because that's how I met him. It was through our mutual friendship of you and with you, and it's carried on. We've played games, just me and him. I mean, nothing against you. We've
How dare
played,
you?
We have played games
I'm so
without
alone
you.
now.
Man.
I'm left all alone.
No, it's not that. It's just but no, it's been great. Like getting to know him and the friendship that we've forged together, and just playing games that myself and him are interested in, and maybe you're not interested in. I know there's been a couple of games that you had no interest in partaking in, so we veered off and went on our own little adventures with those.
I know what games they are. Like the vast majority of the ones that you guys seem to like are like have a lot of building aspects to it.
Yeah, the survival games and stuff.
I'm not a big fan of the building process. Now, I'm okay with going gung-ho and let's go kill this, let's go try to reap some rewards off of stuff, but if you're asking me to build some sort of fortress to survive in, whether it's against zombies or other possible players, I don't know. I'm well past the point of wanting to do that. That stopped after I stopped playing Minecraft.
Right. No, I get that. I mean, yes, it's yeah, I could see from different perspectives that kind of thing being, I don't know, tedious, I suppose. Like I myself, I find it the preparation for a fight pretty exciting. Like the fight itself, yes, that's exciting, but I like that, like just going in and fighting. It seems like only to me it seems like only half the battle, right? And it gets, that experience gets rounded off, in my opinion, by the whole preparation aspect, like having to build your defenses and craft weaponry and level up your abilities, this, that, and the other, in preparation for the big fight, and that's something that I've always enjoyed. So I know one game in particular that you may be referencing is the is Valheim.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, Valheim's a big one. It's if no one's ever played it, it's no, I know we've talked about it before, but if no one's played it, it's a game about Norse mythology, and everyone's Vikings, and you're planted in one of these planes of existence. I don't know what the actual worlds are, connected to the world tree or whatever it is, but it's a place where you're trying to prove yourself to Odin. Maybe it's like a sort of limbo or something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's a game where it's a survival game, and you're put into this place, and there's different biomes, and each biome gets more difficult as you explore on. You have to mine and harvest and collect like food, materials, this, that, and the other, in order to make yourself weaponry and armor. There's skills associated with it. Like the more you do something, the better at it you get. If you die, you lose some of your skills, and you're always like building bases and what have you to build up those defenses against all the numerous threats that are in the world. And there's like bosses that you can fight in each biome, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. But yes, it is one that Locke doesn't particularly dig.
I'm gonna be just honest with you that last time that I played, because there was so much yet to like build and whatnot, I remember kind of wanting to fall asleep. Because it was like, I just need a little bit of some action. And then when I was getting out there and fighting, I died so much. I was like, well, I am of no use to any of you right now.
It's a game, like in that game you really have to nickel and dime, to especially to fight like the big bosses and stuff. It's a lot of nickel and diming to get to defeat them. And I guess you, Locke, you just went in, screaming with your arms flailing and weapons, and then you just get absolutely demolished by the boss.
It kind of just like reminds me of RuneScape if you took out the quest aspect.
Right, yeah. So there isn't really any questing per se. I guess the main objective is just to beat all the bosses in all the biomes, and every time you beat a boss, you get a new power up that you can use. And of course, like there's a shrine type thing where like you hang the head of the boss that you slayed, and you get to choose any skill you want at a particular time, because you only have one. So you have to go to that shrine if you want to change it up, every time you want to change it up. But yeah, no, I get it. Anyway, we already got off topic. Going into that game.
That's why we have that intro, right? To tell everybody that this might go off.
Yeah, it tends to. So our topic was making friends on the interwebs. No, and gaming. So I know you've referenced before that you've played some games where you've made some acquaintances that you've played with, like, a couple of times, right? So I know in what's that horror game that you play all the time?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight, that's right. I I had a mind brain fart there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, golly, jeez. Anyway, so you said that you've made some friends. Well, not maybe not friends, but some people that you've played with on multiple occasions. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had met two brothers who I'd say we made pretty good friends with them. Even have them on Instagram and whatnot. They were fun. They met me while I was the killer of the game. I don't remember what it was. I had these two people left, and I kind of was trying to decide which one I was going to let live. And I got this random party invite, and I went, I'm just gonna see. I was in a mood where I was like, sure, I'll talk to these people, which is kind of irregular. It really depends on my mood.
Yeah, it's a gamble, isn't it?
It is really a gamble. You might get. I had one game where these kids were just absolutely angry. One kid was super salty because he was the first and only person to die. Meanwhile, these two brothers, they were just like, oh, let us live, let us live. And they seemed chill enough. I was just like, you know what, I really don't care. Like, the ranking system at that point, I was already, I think, close to the top of the rank, so I had nothing to lose by letting two people live anyway. So, I was just like, yeah, okay. Believe I let them both live, and then I went on to playing Survivor with them, and yeah, games were fun. These guys were super new to the game. It was fun to get to experience people's first time in playing a game.
Aw, yeah, that's always a good time.
And I tried to kind of give them a heads up, what to expect, what type of perks you might see typically ran by certain killers. Because there's like a whole meta thing where people were just like running the same perks just so that they could get to the top rank. Guys are super cool. Best time I think I've had playing Dead by Daylight. Now I had a few other people I met along the way while playing Survivor and meeting people, and they were like, "That was fun. Let's do that again." So we played a couple more games with them, and we haven't since. We've kind of since the ranking system changed on Dead by Daylight, we've kind of stopped playing as much.
Oh man, well, I myself have some experiences. I remember on one occasion it was odd, So I was playing Sea of Thieves. I can't remember who all I was playing with, but I know my brother was one. And whenever I play with people in our friend group, most of the time I'm the only one with the ability to talk to other players, right? Because most people, which like I completely understand, just don't want to talk to the other players because there's a lot of toxicity there, and you don't want to take your chances, and I understand that. But there was this one occasion where we were sailing along, and we weren't really paying attention. We were just like goofing around with something, and out of nowhere, the ship just crashes straight into us, and all the guys from this crew just jump on the deck of our ship, and my first reaction was to say, "Hey, what's up?" Just
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was there for that.
So when they jumped on the deck, it was my brother just started swinging at these guys. All right, so he started trying to combat them, and they weren't doing anything they weren't trying to fight back. They kept jumping around, trying to dodge them, and this and that. And then instantly they started talking to me, and they're like, hey, we come in peace. We come in peace. We're just looking to hang out. And I had to yell out to the crew. I was like, hey guys, they don't mean us any harm. Just calm down. And it took a while for it to die down, but eventually it did. And I started talking to these guys, and they were a nice few bunch of guys, and they just said that they wanted to do some world events and this and that, and so I think we went to do a one of them Fort of the Dams, damned, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fort of the Dams.
yeah. So and that's a big event, and we were like, yeah, absolutely, that'd be awesome, because I mean, trying to pull that off by yourself is kind of hectic, because everybody's trying to poach on that, and trying to steal your loot. So we said absolutely, and we got on well with these guys, and they're very supportive and nice, and by the end of it, they wanted to, friend us on Xbox, PC, absolutely everything. So I did, and I played with these guys a lot after that. Like we were always playing all these different games, and talking a lot, and really bonding, and it was a lot of fun. I had a great time meeting those guys, but eventually fell off with them because I don't know why. It was one of those things where we played games with each other less and less, to the point where we just no longer played anymore. Now, there have been numerous occasions during that time that we weren't playing together anymore, where I would, I had a tendency to drink too much, and I saw they were in some kind of Discord chat with one another, and I would just jump in and be like, hey. And they're like, hey, what's up? And like nothing, like acting like we had just played yesterday. We just picked up where we left off. And it's really nice, having that to go to, because I feel like people have this tendency to think that, when you stop talking to someone, then it's going to be awkward going back to talking with them after like an extended period of time not having any interaction with them. But like a lot of the time it just picks up where it left off, and there's no awkwardness whatsoever, and it was really nice. And so I had a lot of fun with those guys, building that friendship. But besides that, I remember one occasion where me and you were playing Sea of Thieves, and these people were just hounding us, like absolutely hounding. And we defended against them, and we were doing so well, and somehow they caught up to us, and they just absolutely unloaded on us, and they sunk our ship. And I remember you in particular.
Oh, jeez.
You were very upset, and I think you rage quit after that, and because like how insistent these guys were. Now, like, granted, I was a little annoyed too, because we were in the middle of doing something, something trivial. Like it wasn't anything big, but it was something that took a lot of time and effort, and we didn't want that effort to go to waste, because we would have to start all over again if we failed.
Right.
And yes, it was very frustrating. But like after they sank us, it was one of those things where I just, I went down, and, I tried to be a good sport about it. And I was like, how the hell did you guys catch us? And the chick that was on there, she was just saying, like, giving me pointers. She's like, oh, if you position your sails at this and you hit the wind from this direction, then that's the fastest speed that you can possibly obtain in a ship. And I was like, oh, well, I had no idea. That's helpful. Thank you. And she's like, yeah, so, well, you guys take it easy. Good fight. And I was like, yeah, y'all too. And we parted ways. And that was it. It was pleasant, like the action itself was very frustrating, I admit. And, but, I mean, they were decent people. They were just, having a good time.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I remember that time. And what had me the most irritated is I was already strapped on time. Like, it was already late. I wanted to go to bed. So I wanted to cash in, do what we needed to do, and be on my way and go to bed. And these people absolutely stopped us from being able to just cash in so that I could go to bed. That prolonged me from getting. I just wanted to get some sleep, alright? And at that point, I'm agitated. So you get on the game and you want to absolutely chase people all over the map. Just for
Yeah.
what? For what? It made no sense at all. I mean, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
wasting your own time too, but apparently they had nothing better to do. But I digress.
Yeah, no, no, I completely understand your frustrations. But in the grand scheme of things, they weren't doing anything wrong. It was just, the
They were
circumstance.
to me. I was not getting sleep. You are stopping a man from getting his sleep, and you are
Yeah,
now dealing with my wrath.
yeah. Oh man, but that was something else. But there's been like many occasions like that have happened where just get obliterated by someone, and I'm like, hey, GG's, and they say something encouraging, something nice. They just seem like decent folk, just like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Just poking around, having a good time, and it's completely, like I'm just like, okay, that's fine, that's cool, like good on you. But there's also been other occasions where they're just like, I guess it's with it seems like younger people mostly, where they're just trying to dunk on someone, and they just talk trash, and I am not at all good at trash talk, right? So when that happens, when people start being, aggressive and talking crap and cursing at me, or name calling, stuff like that, I don't know how to react personally, because I'm just like, okay, well, that's an odd way of talking to someone. Okay. I'm like, all right, have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it just makes it instantly super awkward, because it doesn't get a rise out of me. It's just awkward, uncomfortable, and it makes me treasure those instances where, even if I did get my ass handed to me, as long as they're cool folk, and they're nice, and it's GG's all around. I'm like, all right, that's cool. This is the game. You bested me. Good on you. And it's fun. It makes it to a point where, like, I'm okay with coming back to it. If you have too many of these negative interactions, like, it makes me not want to play the game. And it's so disheartening. But there's been lots of friendships forged. Not, I mean, I guess the topic was making friends, but
Right.
I mean, I guess we're getting on the topic of just nice interactions in general, or pleasant interactions in general.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, there have been numerous. I mean, I feel like the pleasant interactions, those are the ones that stick with me, at least. I don't know about yourself, but the negative interactions I tend to forget about because it's short lived, and I drop out, because it's not something that I want to surround myself with. And
I'll forget about it at a certain point. I'll eventually forget about it until I'm reminded. Once you said, this girl answered you, I knew the exact moment, because unfortunately I do remember a lot more, good or bad.
Yeah.
I just remember it all. It's a blessing and a curse.
In all honesty, like the person that she was with, he could have been the toxic one that was insistent on hounding us.
No, because I'm
I mean,
pretty sure he was a streamer, so he was all gung ho about it.
Okay. Yeah, well, she was nice, and I killed her a couple of times, so she wasn't too much trouble. But the guy, well, I don't want to assume it was a guy. It was a guy character,
Yeah,
but he
don't
didn't.
you assume?
He wasn't talking. he wasn't talking to us. So I don't, or they weren't talking to us. So I have no idea. But they were pretty good and difficult to combat. But I mean, you win, you lose. You make friends along the way sometimes, which is nice, and I treasure those memories. It's always good.
It's always nice to have those memories, building something with a new group of people.
All right, so to wrap us up here, what I want to do is I want to give a special little shout out to our patron, our special little patron that we have. Oh, we treasure you so much, and I just want you to know that you're so appreciated. And there was discussion, admittedly, prior to this recording about ditching the introduction, because I was looking at analytics on YouTube, and it was saying that people usually click off right after the intro's done, So I'm like, maybe we should forego the intro, just so to see if getting right to business, it holds people longer, right? But then Luck here brought to light that our special patron is quite fond of our intro, so we decided to keep it in for the sake of none other than
Khaaaaaan!
So thank you, Khaaaaaan, for supporting us. And that is, in fact, the way in which this person would like to be announced. That was a special request. So thank you again, Khaaaaaan, for supporting us and this podcast. We love you, appreciate you, thank you so much. And for anyone else that wishes to support the podcast and getting us, we plan to, get better equipment and kind of get some more flavor in the recordings and what have you. And we do plan on coming up with something special for our patrons. Patrons. We plan on coming up with something special. We're still brainstorming the best way in which to do this. So we do appreciate those who are willing to support us in this endeavor. And so if you would like to do that, you can go to you can search up Merle and Locke podcast on patreon.com, or you can simply follow the link in the description. Thank you.